إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. نستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وبعد. We begin by praising Allah, who is the caretaker of the universe. We seek His assistance, His guidance, His forgiveness, and proclaim our belief and trust in Him. نؤمن به عز وجل. And we affirm that He alone is His worship, and that He has sent prophets and messengers throughout time, and that this process has concluded with the one who is referred to as the seal of the prophets and the mercy unto all nations, namely Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For the past 2 weeks, and this will actually be the third week, we have been looking at certain central accounts that are given in the Quran, in particular in the surah entitled Al-Kahf, or the cave. And part of the reason for going into this particular text is because we have narrations in the Hadith literature which speak about this text. One narration asserts that this particular chapter provides protection from false messianic figure, Masih ad-Dajjal. And another text, actually it's more than one text, but another text in the Hadith literature says that this chapter, Surah Al-Kahf, that it provides a light from Friday to Friday. And so it's on that basis that the practice has emerged of reading that surah anytime after the Maghrib of Thursday up to the time of the Jummah khutbah, that people have the habit, especially in maybe the hour or half hour before the Jummah khutbah, people have the habit of opening up the Quran and reading that surah while they're waiting for the khutbah to start. So the central passages that we have explored already has been the story of the people of the cave, and last week was the parable of the believer and the disbeliever. And now we go into one of the most beautiful and important accounts. And that account is basically the story of Musa, alayhi salam, Moses, the prophet Moses, peace be upon him, of Musa and the teacher. Now, tradition names this particular teacher, it gives him the title or the name Khidr. And Khidr basically means green, something greenish. Why is this name given as green? Why is the teacher's name given as green? It is given because the lessons from that teacher are always fresh, healthy, and truthful. Now, the account itself, it is given in 21 verses inside of that chapter, Surah Al-Kahf. And so what I will do today, for the sake of time, is to just give a gloss. Rather than reading each and every single verse, I'm going to give a gloss of what the account is. And the gloss is simply this. that Musa alayhi salam, or Moses, that he has a companion with him, and he makes a decision to go on a journey. He makes a decision to go on a journey. And during this journey, and this is how the story starts. During this journey, they had a fish. There were no restaurants to stop at. They had a fish. And through some way, the fish got lost. The fish actually escaped their control and swam back. It jumped back into the sea, back into the water. And Moses and his helper, they continue the journey until they remember, they say, oh my God, we forgot about the fish. We forgot about the fish. And so, what did they do? They returned. They turned around. They retraced their footsteps. And as the ayah says, it says, فَأَرْتَدَّ عَلَى أَثَارِهِمَا قَصَصًا. It says that they retraced their steps. And then, when they retraced their steps, this is when they found the teacher, Khidr. This is when they found it. Now, there are details to the story. And again, I'm going to summarize that as much as possible. But there are a few matters worth looking at or asking about. Now, Musa, alayhi salam, peace be upon him, the Prophet Moses, he was a prophet. He's a prophet of Allah. This is at least something that the three monotheistic religions agree about. That Musa alayhi salam was a prophet of God. And that he was given a law. In fact, the word Torah means law. Torah. This word itself, it means law, the law. And not only was he given a law, and what I'm going to say is also agreed upon by the three monotheistic religions. Not only was he given a law, but Musa alayhi salam, he functioned as a liberator for his people. That his people were in a state of oppression within the Egyptian society, but he functions as a person who comes and jump-starts a liberation from that situation. And in addition to that, according to the Quran, Musa alayhi salam, peace be upon him, Moses, peace be upon him, he was educated because he spent much of his time basically being raised in the royal household. So he had, for lack of a better word, an Egyptian education. And perhaps a royal Egyptian education. We can even put it like that. The people of royalty, the people of high status, always have a different level of education than those who are not from high status. So, keeping all that in mind, the question is, why would Musa need a teacher in the first place? Again, why would Musa or Moses, alayhi salam, why would he require a teacher in the first place? What knowledge would he have needed if he was already someone who is given prophethood and has these various roles in his life? Why would he need a teacher in those regards? With that, let's look at how the Quran introduces the story. This is very interesting. It's very interesting. The Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The Quran says, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِفَتَاهُ لَا أَبْرَحُ حَتَّى أَبْلَغَ مَجْمَعَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ أَوْ أَمْضِيَ حُقُبًا. It says, observe. When Moses is telling us the dialogue between Moses and his helper, he says, observe when Moses said to his helper, I'm not stopping until I reach the meeting point of the two bodies of water. Majma' al-Bahrain. I'm not stopping until I reach the point of the meeting point of the two bodies of water, or until I have traveled for years and years and years.